Welcome to week 3 of our December Wellness Challenge. We are doing grace in the becoming, and one of my least favorite lessons because it comes up all the time and because we're focusing on it this week. Lord help me, I'm going to have a lot of learning and growth to do, and it's all about that pesky little thing called patience. And it's, again, not an event. It's an ever-going journey that we're learning to be present in, and patience is a part of that, and it's being patient with yourself in your growth journey. So let's learn how. And if you've ever found yourself in a place of frustration, wishing you should and could be doing something, this is the week for you. So stay tuned. This is a season of reflection, resolution, and regret. The time where we start to look through the year and tally up what we accomplished versus what we should and could have done. It's time for us to start to rewrite that narrative and own our truth of us becoming and celebrating these successes that we have with our opportunity to just be present in our journey. And here's a core truth. You're not ahead, you're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. Our ideas of what timelines are and whether or not we're successful immediately knows that we are in a negative dynamic. Because why? We're in that perceived expectation part that cycles in the shoulda couldas, that pulls on that comparison trap, that keeps us frustrated and making us want to avoid, so that we lose our capacity, our value, and our motivation to do better. So this week, we're looking through the European mindset of the communal culture versus the individualistic. Western culture is incredibly individualistic. We put all of our eggs in our basket and we are not willing to share with one another. What we're looking at is zooming out and seeing that our actions actually make massive differences in the world if we let it. That one little thing that we do can compound and grow not only in our own world, but can compound and grow in many worlds around us. And so as we own this truth, what we want to do is realize that we have a bigger impact than we give ourselves credit for. And yet we are so much more weak and incapable than we even realize. We have no control of the outcomes. We only have control of the processes. And those processes require connection with other people in order for them to turn into outcomes. So let's get started on learning how to be able to own our processes and take on this European mindset of the community over the individual. Remember that you are exactly where you need to be on your journey. There is no destination. It's all about each step that you take. So let's start exploring the steps that we can take to let go of the frustration, to take on this thing called patience, and find our grace in our becoming. One of the top myths when it comes to growth and success is this idea that there's a linear path, that we have to kind of go, you do this, then you do this, and then you're moving in. You get stuck in these comparison traps of, well, they're way up here and that means I'm behind. And it does not mean that they are up there and you're behind. Remember those cognitive distortions we did last week or 2 weeks ago. You are exactly where you need to be. It's not a linear path. There's not one door to go through. It's a giant field and it's a map. There's all kinds of things. You can go into the valley, you can climb to the top of the mountain. Everything has its value. We talked about that in October. Everything has its value when you are exactly where you're supposed to be, which is right here, right now, doing the work and taking meaningful steps each day. Let's look at this neuroscience of frustration. When we get frustrated, the brain is ticking off of like danger, danger, danger. Frustration is stress, and stress is not good, bad, or indifferent. It's life or death. So that amygdala is starting to go, the negative dynamic is kicking off. And depending on where you are in your change journey, you have either started to create a lot of compounding negative feedback loops, or you started to create some positive flow states and positive feedback loops that will reframe very quickly as you get into these predictable patterns. But if you've ever made a change in your past, go think about it. No shame in the game. Learn something from it. What you'll find is there's actually a predictable nature, these feedback loops, these thoughts, these feelings and behaviors that all align. Go check it out. The last time you tried to lose weight, what did you do? You probably restricted. First of all, you said, I have a problem. I'm going to go. I'm helpless on it on my own. I can't do it. Low motivation, low capacity, low value. So you bought a program. You buy the program, you invest in it, it does pretty well, you follow exactly the things, but then life happens. And as life happens, you start saying, well, I can't really do that, and I can't really do that. All or nothing thinking starts to come in. And then you're like, well, what's the point? Like, I got where I needed to be. This is about as good as it gets. And the cycle goes over and over. You have your own. So go figure out. That's your activity this week, is to figure out what your cycle is. So you know where you are in the cycle and you know how to cognitively reframe out of it. The deal, it's all about the power of the pivot. We talk about the pivot a lot. It's these cognitive reframes that says, I am not at the bottom. I'm not at the top. There is no destination. I have to own where I am now. And when I own where I am now and knowing that I'm taking one micro step at a time, then I'm being very responsive to the micro steps that I take. And so if this right doesn't feel good, then I'm going to go left. I can even go sideways. I can even choose to go in circles. And do you know why? Because it doesn't matter. As long as you are moving forward. It does not matter. You will get into these labyrinths in times. Don't shame or fret about it. It's where you need to be to recover from that experience, to figure out what really happened and make a meaningful step to get around it. Don't ever fret where you are. Stay personally present in your own life, making sure you're just making motions, taking a step each day. And finally, we are owning our year. I don't want you to invoice yourself. I don't want you to tally up all the things you should have and could have done. I want you to own your year for what you're doing right now. You press play. You are here. You're learning about how to love yourself. And we've got so much great things that we can do with being present in the here and now and owning our own personal journey where we're at. We stay in the here and now. We stay right here. And we own that we have one more week, maybe 2 weeks left of the year. We're coming up on the holidays and anything can happen. And that's okay because we're showing up for ourselves once a week for 15 minutes. And that is enough. It truly is enough. So own your year by owning that you press play today and keep pressing play tomorrow. This week's mantra is I am on my own journey. This is a journey where there is no destination, just opportunities to be present and enjoy the adventure. So as always, go to the worksheet. We've got lots of great activities for you to do to be able to own your present, find that blessed patience with yourself and your own growth journey. You are becoming, and we're becoming with micro steps every single day. I'm Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions. Please, if you want any help, I am here. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, a brain coach, and we have our wellness coaches as well to be here to help you support your journey. So click the links in the description and be able to start your transformation journey.